shipwreck and begins to loot. He then travels further on his boat until he locates a ruined portal, which suspiciously is already completely filled in, and he even happens to find flint and steel in the chest. And as he goes to teleport from the portal, how is he in the end? Well, it's not only impossible to take a nether portal into the end, but you can't even light a flint and steel while in the end. This next speedrunner starts off by mining wood and crafting some tools, where he then finds a nearby shipwreck where he finds some pretty good loot, except for the fact that it's impossible for obsidian to spawn in a shipwreck chest. He then uses the obsidian to complete a nearby ruined portal, where he spawns in right next to a fortress. Now, after collecting his 7 blaze rods, he happens to find a bastion right next door, where he finds an abnormal amount of piglins and manages to get 4 stacks of ender pearls, which is clearly impossible. He then makes his way back to the overworld, where he digs down at a very specific block, which just so happens to drop him straight into the stronghold. And after entering the end, how has the ender dragon already lost some health? And why have all of the crystals been removed from the pillars? Let's just move on. Now, the next speedrun we're gonna be taking a look at is probably the weirdest of them all, and that is because this speedrunner doesn't try to hide anything that he does. And let me tell you, he does a lot of fake things that don't really make sense. Anyway, the run begins and we're already off to a bad start. In the bottom left corner, you can clearly see a message saying that he set his game mode to survival, implying that before he started recording, he was indeed in creative. Oh, and also, just look at the chat. I mean, he's not trying to hide anything at all. Anyway, he makes it to a desert temple and somehow already has insane gear in his inventory, and he even has 3 potion effects on. Like, bro, the speedrun just started. He then proceeds to enchant all of his armor, which is almost never done in a real speedrun, especially at the slow pace that he's doing it at. Now, after running a few more commands, he finds himself already in the end, and things start to get even weirder. To begin, he starts to fly around and break all of the crystals, then goes down to the center and just starts placing down an absurd amount of TNT. Which is honestly completely unnecessary. To top it all off, he gives himself an insane strength effect that can most likely obliterate the dragon. And yeah, the dragon stood no chance against his speedrun cheats. Now, technically, this run could be considered over, but our speedrunner friend still wants to have some fun. So he just randomly spawns in a wither and tries to fight it. And the cherry on top of this entire speedrun is that even after we saw all of the cheats that he did, he makes sure to change his game mode back to survival before he finishes. I mean, what a great speedrun. But unfortunately, yeah, this speedrun was fake. This next speedrunner literally spawns right into a village, and then finds a netherite house right next to where he spawns. This doesn't even exist in Minecraft. Either way, he goes to loot the chest inside, and it has full netherite armor. And he even gets bedrock in survival Minecraft. Now it's time for the speedrunner to travel to the nether, but he randomly finds a hole that leads directly into a nether portal. This is